I'm Lily Hope. I'm Raven Duck Dane Tan from the snail house originating out of Juneau, Alaska. I am my mother's daughter. Clarissa Rizal was my mother, and she kind of was the brainchild behind this movement that's happening right here in front of us. This is the beginnings of the Giving Strength robe. It is a collaborative weaving to bring strength and healing and support to domestic violence and sexual violence survivors. The robe will live at the Aware Shelter in Juneau, Alaska, and be worn by anyone who needs an extra hug, an extra bit of strength. And we've talked a lot about it in the creation of these squares. There are 24 squares in front of us, and that is just a fourth of the people who have registered for the robe. So it's pretty exciting that so many of them are already together, and we're starting the borders, the weaving of the top borders very, very soon, and aiming to finish the entire project by October of 2019 so that it can be danced and worn and used at the Aware Shelter. And we've talked a lot about how to go about working on our weavings. These are Raven's Tail and Chilkat weavings, and we're assembling it kind of like a granny squares quilt. And we've talked a lot about how to come to our work in prayer and in gratitude and in bringing intentions of strength and healing rather than coming into our work with the grief and sadness that we may, the rage and heaviness that we might be feeling around this, around sexual and domestic violence. And so we've both on Facebook and on audio conferences, we've talked about how we come into it saying, I'm doing this for the healing of it, not for the rage I might feel for it. And to come into our work, literally twining that strength and that healing into our work, so that when this is placed on someone's shoulders, they really feel it. It's powerful work in that all of us weavers have been touched by either sexual or domestic violence ourselves, or, it's so prevalent in our communities and in our nation that we know someone, a mother, an aunt, a sister, someone in our circle who has been directly affected. So this is a very up subject and meaningful to most of, like every single one of us who has participated to bring that strength and healing together. It's also monumental in that many of us don't have the 1,000 or 2,000 hours to put into making a full-size robe, and this gives us an opportunity to come together really across thousands of miles to do meaningful work and create a robe together that wouldn't necessarily be created otherwise.